What's going on, guys? This is AA around here bringing you guys PSBL Week 6 recap video. Just a few announcements before I start. Excuse me, I stutter a lot in case you haven't noticed. I just want to say Week 7 is officially started, as you guys already know, and also final exams are coming up for college students, and maybe even midterms for high school. I don't know. But I just want to take this time to let everyone know, if you have exams that you don't think that you'll be able to finish in time, let me know before the battles are due. Okay, so battles are due Wednesday the 5th, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't really give a shit. Let me know before Wednesday if you want an extension on your battle. If you tell me on Wednesday, I'm not going to be able to help you out. Has to be before Wednesday. Alright, that being said, let's just get started with the recap video. We have the Ultra Beast versus the Sundance Kids. I was so hyped for this battle. It was the battle of the undefeated, and let's just see how it goes. The Sundance Kids brought Clefable, Goodra, Electros, Landorus, Licky Licky, and Hariyama, while the Ultra Beast brought Neolego, Tornadus, Crocodile, Minior, Moronzong, and Hitmonlee. Right off the bat, Sundance Kids did not bring any fire Pokemon, which is surprising, but it also makes sense for how many strengths the Ultra Beasts have for fire types, including Neolego, the Crocodile, the Minior, Heatproof Bronzong, which would basically be given right now for how many fire types the Sundance Kids have, and I'm not surprised that they have them all there. Right off the bat, I would assume that, just looking at the team, I already know what's happened and everything. I did everything for this match. But just looking right off the bat, I would have to say that the Ultra Beasts have the advantage. Just they don't have a lot of answers for the Minior unless the Clefable is unaware. Neolego just obviously rips through everything. Probably has Hidden Power Ice just for the Landorus. Would not be surprised if a lot of things have Hidden Power Ice just for the Landorus, because Landorus is very scary. Anywho, let's just get on with the battle, as we have Bronzong versus Electros to start it off, as a knockoff comes out to get rid of the Light Clay, which is pretty obvious, but this Stealth Rocks does come out instead. The Flamethrower, we see that it is heatproof, which is shocker, goes for another Flamethrower, only does 18% as the Light Screen comes out, as the knockoff does kill Bronzong, as Minior comes in for free, goes there for a Shell Smash, and then Electros will go for a Volt Switch. Unfortunately, it was a crit, which ignores the light screens, which really does suck. Free switch into Hariyama, gets the Flame Orb, so already guts. As Tornadus comes in, a Fake Out comes out, so it can't get flinched. As now he's going to switch back into Electros on the Acrobatics, which doesn't do too much, obviously, as now a U-turn comes out, switches right into Hitmonlee on the Aqua Tail, probably predicting the Crocodile to come in, as he switches out into Landorus, as the Intimidate comes out, which is very helpful for them, as the not Fake Out comes out as well, switches back into Tornadus on the Landorus's Rock Polish. And now a Tailwind for Tornadus, as the Rock EMZ Continental Crush comes out, taking out Tornadus, which does suck, as now it is 6-3. Neolego now comes out, obviously has an Power Ice. The specially defensive Goodra takes that only 20%, which is incredible. Forces a switch into Hitmonlee on the Earthquake, does 44%, but Hitmonlee now has a free hit into Lando, as the Intimidate comes out, only does 33 on the High Jump Kick. As the Rock Polish comes out again, another High Jump Kick only does 32. Earthquake takes out the Hitmonlee, as now here comes Crocodile, goes for an Earthquake, lives it, and a knockoff takes out Landorus, as the Moxie Boost does come out, goes out into Hariyama. Unfortunately, he has Fake Out, that's going to be able to take him out. And the bulkiness of Hariyama is able to live a Psyshock on 10%, goes for a close combat, and takes out Neolego as well. That damn Neolego finally goes down. As you can see, Tyler there saying it's finally dead. Yes, it is finally dead. And I can't really be happy right now. Sorry, Ultra Beast. I'm just kidding, by the way. Now all that's left is for that Volcanion to die, and then I'll be happy. But not really predicting that. I thought that the only team that was going to defeat the Ultra Beast was, in fact, the Sundance Kids. I just did not predict the Sundance Kids to 5-0 the Ultra Beast, which is just incredible. Now I just don't know who's going to defeat the Sundance Kids. I look forward to these guys battling again. I'm almost positive that they will at the end of the season in playoffs. I'm pretty sure both these teams are going to go to the playoffs. But yeah, that was shocking, and can't wait to see what goes on next. So now we have Team Build-Up versus bro Jake, the 64s. The 64s, they brought Hydreigon, Milotic, Mega Alakazam, Infernape, Donphan, and Crustle, while Team Build-Up brought Tapu Bulu, Chandelure, Bisharp, Porygon Z, Swampert, and Alolan Muck. Right off the bat, interesting Crustle. Not really seeing what it would be able to do. Maybe something against, I guess it can hit everything on the team, but it needs to get a Shell Smash off first. Milotic should be able to wall a lot of pretty much everything except for the Bulu, and I would assume that it would have Ice Beam just for that reason. So if anyone has the advantage right off the bat, I would say it is the 64s, and I do believe I predicted the 64s to win. But let's just get right into the battle. So we have Bisharp taking on Infernape. Obviously, you would want to switch out of your Bisharp. You can't do anything as he goes into Chandelure, predicts that and goes to Hydreigon. A double switch into Tapu Bulu on a Dark Pulse, which only does 24%, but that's actually pretty good damage to a resisted move. But with leftovers and Grassy Terrain, brings it back up to 88. Pulls out a double into Swampert. However, goes for a Grass Knot, takes out the Swampert, still not able to get those rocks up, damn it. As now Alolan Muck comes in, switches right out into Milotic on the Poison Jab, gets a crit, unfortunately no poison on that, so the Flame Orb is able to come out as the Ice Beam comes out on the Thunder Punch, only does 25%. That is the bulkiness of Milotic right there, which is very scary. Forces a recover, obviously, as a Crunch comes out, trying to get that defense drop. Nothing yet, as they're going to go for a Scald that does burn, unfortunately, for the build-up, as they go for another Thunder Punch, does not do a lot at all. And this is just a little bit of Stally, another Ice Punch, another Thunder Punch, Ice Beam, excuse me, not Ice Punch, Ice Beam, as Milotic's just going to recover on the rest from Alolan Muck, which is, I did not predict that. That was a really good job on their part, as they finally wake up, and goes for another Scald. Does they get another burn? They do not, but the defense drop for them, that's really working out for them, and they will be able to get another free hit, as a Thunder Punch comes out, gets a crit, which is great, and gets the Poison Touch, which is phenomenal, especially for them, as they actually pull out a double, as it goes out into Bisharp. Obviously, they want to switch again, because they don't want anything happening to Donphan. They don't want Donphan doing anything, as Bulky comes out on the Earthquake. Great prediction there. Seed Bomb does not take out Donphan because of the sturdy. Figgy Berry brings it back up to full, as a Poison Jab comes out and takes out Tapu Bulu, one of the few things that's going to be able to take on the Milotic, which is very scary. As now Bisharp comes out, don't know why. Donphan fears it, goes out into Infernape to catch that foul play, which is very nice, as Infernape now pulls out a double, as Chandelure comes out. He has to double back out into Bisharp on the Earth Power, takes it out, as Hydreigon is now sitting stall, 6-3. Now Porygon Z comes out, goes for a nasty plot on the Donphan switch-in, goes for a Tri-Attack, and does take it out. Next out comes Crustle now. On the Tri-Attack again, is resisted, but it still does 99%, and gets the burn on the Shell Smash from Crustle. And obviously, that burn is going to take out Crustle as well. And now out comes Alakazam, trying to trace that adaptability. Goes for a Psychic, only does 98%. The special defense does drop, but the Dark Pulse takes out Alakazam as well. Now we're sitting at 3 versus 3. This is just incredible. As the Thunderbolt takes out Milotic, as we can see down here, we are going to see that it was a misclick by Jake, which is very unfortunate. Switches out into Chandelure on the Vacuum Wave. Obviously not going to do anything. Grass Knot, obviously again, doesn't do anything. So then a Psychic comes out, taking out Infernape, and we have 3 versus 1 right now. What a comeback by the team buildup. Earth Power does take out Chandelure, as now Muck comes out, and Muck lives the Earth Power on 19%, goes for Poison Gem, takes it out with a crit, and the team buildup takes out the first win. Now I know there was a misclick on the Milotic. I don't know if they meant to go out of Milotic or if they didn't, if they just meant to do a double or something. I don't know, but it was just a great job by Team Build up there. You can't help but feel happy about them. But what a comeback! Porygon to Z, just bringing it back. I believe that was 4 kills for that thing, and I'm pretty happy for them. You should be happy for them. I'm pretty happy that 64 is lost, just because I need to catch up to them, and I need to get that 4th spot in the playoffs. Speaking of which, we have your Buffalo Wild Chargers versus, I don't know, Ask Dark, and right off the bat, you can see that Doublade should be putting in a lot of work. It helps with a lot of things, and yeah, that's honestly basically it. Mega Bayonet, I believe this is their debut match for Mega Bayonet, so yeah, that's a little scary. Pyukumuku comes out again. I believe is this the debut? I don't remember off the top of my head. I can easily look, but I really don't want to. But we have, I don't know, Astark bringing Terrakion, Pyukumuku, Thundurus, Bayonet, Alolan Ninetales, and Doug Trio, while the Buffalo Wild Chargers brought P2, Tapu Fini, Doublade, Whimsicott, that's bringing in the debut, Mega Absol, and Deoncé. Let's get ahead. Let's go right ahead and start this. As Deoncé will start against Bayonet. Bayonet decides to go for Destiny Bond. I don't know what's going on there, but as Stealth Rock comes out on the Shadow Claw now, as we go for a Psyshock, only does 40%, showing them that we can't really do anything. Porygon 2 comes out on the Shadow Claw, obviously not going to do anything. So it goes for a knockoff. Unfortunately, it loses our Violate. That's second time in 2 weeks that has happened to us. We really need to keep our eyes on that. As we go for a recover on the Pyukumuku switch in, obviously we don't want anything happening with Pyukumuku. We just go for a Toxic. As they decide to Baton Pass into Terrakion, obviously we don't want to do anything. So we go out into Whimsicott, able to resist anything that goes for as he goes for an Earthquake. Switches out into Alolan Ninetales on our, I forgot what we went for, Moon Blast, to show that we were a little bit offensive, but not too much, as we go for a Taunt, just so that Aurora Veil does not go up. We don't want anything to helping them out at all. As we switch out into Doublade, obviously to resist that Blizzard, it does 27%, that actually does a lot. So now he goes for a Moonblast, only does 24 again, but now we're under half, which it does suck. As Doug Trio, no one comes out, as we are forced to switch into Whimsicott again as it goes for an Earthquake. Now the Focus Sash on Doug Trio, which I assume that they had, is broken, as it goes out in Bayonet on our Leech Seed. Unfortunately, we miss, which would have helped us out a lot, as we go for another Leech Seed on their Gunk Shot. We did not predict that at all, as Whimsicott does go down. But Bayonet is Leech Seed. As we go back out into Porygon, forces to switch into Terrakion on our Tri-Attack, which does 29%, which is very surprising, as it was resisted as it goes for a close combat, and takes out our Porygon, obviously, as we go out into Doublade to predict if this thing is banded or scarfed or anything. We predicted that right as he goes out in Pyukumuku. Obviously, he can't really. We decided to go for a switch on the Pyukumuku as he decides to recover. Nice job on their part. We didn't know if this thing had counter or not or what, but we thought that Tapu Fini was going to be able to do something. As he goes for a taunt on the Tapu Fini, so we weren't able to do anything like a Screens or Defog. As we go for a Whirlpool, trying to keep it in, but we knew he was going to go for a Baton Pass anyway. But goes out into Thundurus now, and we didn't know this, but Whirlpool actually goes to the next god, as we thought that this was going to be Electric EMZ, but it actually turned out to be Water EMZ, as it takes it down to 20% with Whirlpool. We knew we lived a Thunder, so we decided to stay in and take out the Thunderous, so I thought that was a pretty good even trade there, as the Whirlpool was mainly there for the Pyukumuku or Toxapex or the Ninetales, and obviously we don't need it anymore, so we decided to just sack it like that. As the Shukaberry Deontay comes out on the Earthquake, goes for a Psy Shock, is able to live it unfortunately as Deontay goes down, and now we're just left with 2 Mons versus I don't know, I starts 4 as we go for a Shadow Sneak, taking out the Doug Trio, switching into Terrakion there. As we go for a Shadow Sneak, we don't know if it's Banded or Scarf, doesn't matter. They go for an Earthquake and takes out our Doublade. Now we go out into Absol, Mega Evolve. We see that it is Scarf now, able to live it. Goes for a Play Rough, and we do take that out. Out comes Mega Bayonet. We know that it was going to go for a Destiny Bond, so we decided to go for a Will-O-Wisp here. Not able to do anything, obviously, and then obviously we have to go for an attack move or else it's going to attack us and kill us, so we have to attack it and take it out. Takes it out ourselves as well. Gonna be honest with you, we forgot how Destiny Bond worked. Actually, if anything, I probably would have went for another Will-O-Wisp there, see if we could live a hit from like a gunk shot. I actually don't know if we would have been able to or not, but yeah, if we were able to live that hit, assume, then we probably would have been able to 1v1 the Pyukumuku, because it can't attack us, obviously. I don't know if it had Toxic or not, but even if it did, it wouldn't have been able to hit us. So we would have been able to win if Bayonet had died. So really, if we were able to get that Leech Seed off first turn, we would have been able to win, I believe. But it doesn't really matter, honestly. Great game to, I don't know, ask Dark. Good luck in the playoffs. I'm assuming that you're going to go your now 3rd place, or like only differential behind, what's his face? The Ultra Beasts. So, yeah, good luck there. So let's go on to the next battle. We have the Drenth Dragonites versus Team Eon. Team Eon brought Entei, Cofagrigus, Weezing, Jolteon, Mew, and Venusaur, as the Drenth Dragonites brought Scrafty, Mega Aggron, Crobat, Scolipede, Delphox, and Vaporeon. I don't know why I said that really slow. Don't judge me. So right off the bat, I can see that they have a little bit of a bulky setup between Cofagrigus and Weezing, and a little bit of Mega Venusaur. And also for Drenth Dragonites, they have Scolipede. I'm predicting a Baton Pass variant, and yeah, I don't really see one thing over the other. If anything, I think Jolteon is going to be able to put in a lot of work. They have 0 electric resistances, and we all know how hard Jolteon can hit. Really only 1 wall, maybe, well, 2, possibly 3, between Aggron, Vaporeon, and maybe Crobat, depends what kind of variant Crobat is. So I don't think that's really enough to take on an Entei and a Jolteon, and even a like physical Mew or attacking Mew instead of a setup Mew. But let's go right into this, as we have Delphox taking on Jolteon now. Jolteon decides to go for a Volt Switch, does a good chunk to it, switches out into Cofagrigus, able to wall anything it has, goes for a Psychic, which actually does a lot to a Cofagrigus, as they decide to go for Hex. I don't know why, as a red card comes out, which is very interesting, switches out into Jolteon. That is definitely not what they wanted. Thunderbolt does over half to it, as they decide to Toxic it, go for Protect, try to get as much damage as they can on Jolteon, go for a double Protect, which is very nice, that's going to be getting Jolteon to 65%, switches out into Aggron, not going to be able to do a thing now that it does not take a Thunderbolt well, as Aggron now goes down. Now Jolteon is only at 12%, goes into Scolipede, goes for Thunderbolt. They are keen on just taking it out, gets the Paralysis, unfortunately for them. But they do get the +1 boost on it. Entei now comes out as well. It goes for a substitute, which is very surprising. I thought they would have just taken that thing out by now. As they get the +1 speed onto Overbite the Crobat. As Lava Plume comes out, now burns it. I don't know why they had Aerial Ace on it, but they should have went for something else. As the Super Fang comes out, does half to it. As Overbite now goes down to a Lava Plume burn. As now Delphox comes out, it goes for a Psychic on Entei, obviously resists the Lava Plume, as he switches out into Scolipede again on the Lava Plume. I don't know what they're predicting there. I don't know if they're predicting a switch or whatever, but they sack that, and Entei goes for a Bloom Doom on the Vaporeon, taking it out, and we are now sitting at 5 versus 2, as now Delphox goes for the Shadow Ball. Nice prediction there. I really like the prediction. That's great. As he goes for a double Shadow Ball, and it takes out the Mew. As Venusaur is now able to come out, obviously Mega, and we know that Delphox is probably choiced in that way. Goes for a Toxic and a Leech Seed, and as a Dragon Tail comes out. Nice job there by them, but unfortunately it does take out into Weezing, which is able to wall everything else, but it does not help that they decide to switch in on a Sludge Bomb. As now Scrafty comes out, goes for a knockoff, does a good chunk to it, takes out the Assault Vest, as the Sludge Bomb is going to be able to take out Scrafty the next turn, as their last ditch effort is a Drain Punch, as the Sludge Bomb is able to not take it out, but the Toxic will, and yep, that will do it. As a matter of fact, now that I see that, I do need to change something real quick. That was Venusaur's kill. So before I even forget, I said that was Weezing's kill beforehand, but really that was a Toxic damage, so I'm going to change that. I apologize about this. I mean, I know it's not that big of a deal, but so what? So Venusaur actually gets 3 kills, and not Cofagrigus. Go down. There we are. 1 kill for Weezing. So let's just go back to the standings, where I'm going to talk about it after I talk about all these matches. They probably, the Drenth Dragonites probably could have made this a little bit easier on themselves if they didn't switch in Delphox. Delphox was probably their Winmon. I believe they had outspeed everything. I'm not entirely sure. But I believe Specs, or maybe even Scarfed Psychic, would have been able to do a lot of damage to Weezing, even if the Assault Vest was there. A lot of damage to Venusaur. The Cofagrigus was at 62%, and that probably would have been able to help a lot. And the Entei probably would not have been able to live a hit, especially if it was Scarfed, like I'm thinking it might have been. But yeah, the sacking off their Delphox like that was not helping them at all. So yeah, I mean, that probably wouldn't have given them the win, but it would have helped them in differential, especially if they're still technically in the playoffs. So let's go to the 5th and final matchup. We have the Nido Kings and Queens versus Team Speed Boost. I never really said it, but I really admire their team logo. I like it. I like how they have the 2 people there. It's really good. It's really good. Team Speed Boost has Mega Deoncé, Emboar, Rotomwash, Ninjask, Nidoqueen, and Skarmory. As Mandy the Turtle and the Nido Kings and Queens, they brought Zapdos, Virizion, Scizor, Haxorus, Miltank, and Mega Gardevoir. Right off the bat, I see a lot of water weaknesses for the Team Speed Boost. Unfortunately for Mandy the Turtle and the Nido Kings and Queens, they don't have any water users. I don't know if they have any. Oh, they have Jellicent. I don't know why they didn't bring Jellicent. But yeah, that honestly, that's basically it. I don't really see any other main weaknesses or anything. Maybe Fire type for the Nido Kings and Queens are a weakness there because of the Virizion and only 1 resistant, or maybe 2 if Miltank has Thick Fact. But let's just go right into it. Miltank comes out against Deoncé. If I were the Speed Boost, I would not predict the Iron Head that came out, but they somehow did, into Emboar, as they're going to switch out into Zapdos on the Stone Edge. Does 47%, but nice prediction there. As he switches out into Nidoqueen on the double back into Miltank on the Stealth Rocks, as a Body Slam comes out, not able to paralyze the Nidoqueen, as another Sludge Wave comes out, only does 35%. Milk Drink comes out on another Sludge Wave, showing the Speed Boost that they are not able to 1v1 this Miltank, as they know it. They switch out into Skarmory on the Body Slam, and this time they are able to get the paralysis. But the Rocky Helmet does do some damage to Miltank. Forces to switch out into Zapdos. Goes for a Defog, gets rid of those rocks to help the Ninjask out, as the Roost for Zapdos comes out as well. switches out into Embor on the U-turn. Great job there by Mandy. Goes right out into Haxorus now, as that's going to force a switch into Skarmory as they double back out into Zapdos. Goes for Thunderbolt, takes out the Skarmory, as now Deontay Mega Evolves, goes for the Moonblast, only does, well, not only, does 59%, which is a lot of damage, goes out into Scizor, forces a switch into Rotom, goes for a knockoff, great prediction there by Nidokings and Queens, they are on the offense right now, goes for a Will-O-Wisp, probably assuming that this is a special Virizion, goes right onto Ninjask on the substitute, as we all know, unless this Virizion has Hidden Power Rock, it cannot do a thing to Ninjask. On the Swords Dance switches into Zapdos, as now Baton passes right into Deontay. Now we have a +2 attacking Deontay. Switches out into Virizion as the Diamond Storm is going to be able to take it out. And now we have a +2 defense and attacking Deontay. Forces a switch, though, into Rotom Wash, as the crit does matter. That's actually the second crit on Rotom by Scizor. As Rotom goes for Pain Split. Pain Split on the Zapdos switch-in. Thunderbolt and Will-O-Wisp misses as he switches out into Nidoqueen on the Hidden Power, not Ice, which I'm very shocked about that. Yeah, I know I'm a little behind, but whatever. Miltank switches in to a Earth Power, which Nidoqueen switches into Ninjask on the Milk Drink, and that brings out Ninjask, goes out into Zapdos on the Swords Dance, and Speed Boost combination. This guy goes for a Protect to try to get +2 speed, +2 attack. Baton passing into something. Baconator. I love that nickname. It does about half, but obviously needs to switch out into. They decided Zach Gardevoir, probably their best interest, as a Stone Edge does hit. Looking like a sweep because the Stone Edge is able to crit and kill my Miltank. Switches out into Zapdos, hoping for a miss. And they actually get it. Goes for a Thunderbolt, taking out Embor. And now that it brings it 4-3 as Zapdos switches out into Scizor on the Diamond Storm, is able to do over half, switches out into Ninjask on the Bullet Punch, does 64%, as another Bullet Punch does take it out, as they now get a free switch in into Rotom, switches out into Zapdos on the Pain Split. They're back up to 65% now. On the Thunderbolt only does 36, as the Volt Switch does do 26. Switches back out into Deontay, as now they are going to sack Zapdos, as the crit does matter, I believe, which does suck, as Scizor comes back out, goes right out into Nidoqueen on the Bullet Punch, does 33. The next Bullet Punch does 33 as well, 33.1, as now it comes out, goes for a Pain Split on the U-turn. Living on 5%, Haxorus now comes out, and Haxorus goes for a Dragon Dance on the Pain Split, does get him over half, but the Earthquake takes out Rotom, and now Haxorus is going to outspeed and kill Mega Deontay, and the woman who kills brings it back for the Nidokings and Queens. Unfortunately for Team Speed Boost, they probably would have won if it wasn't for the myths on the Stone Edge. And yeah, that really sucks for them, honestly. Byron, they're really, like, both these teams, they have like a really hard chance, like bad chance, not hard chance, of making the playoffs, but it is not technically out. I do believe still everyone is technically considered in the playoffs, so that's really good for that, everyone. But let's go to the standings now, and as you can see, we have movement in the top 4, which is very good. There's actually 2 movements in the top 4, but let's start at the bottom. We have Team Build-Up still in last place. The Dragonite and the Nidoqueens move, switch spots. Nidoqueens went from 9 to 8, which is very, I guess, positive for them, as the Team Speed Boost stays in 7th spot. Both the 64s and the Buffalo Wild Chargers, they go down 1 spot each because they both lost, and Team Eon pulls out a win, putting them back in their 4th spot. I Don't Know As Dark is now tied with the Ultra Beast, literally 1 differential behind, and I do believe they battle next week, so that is also a battle to watch out for. And the Sundance Kids hold up the top spot for now, and they actually have looks like 9 differential. So yeah, that's very interesting to see. With playoffs coming in 3 weeks, almost done with the season. So yeah, so that's the standings. We're gonna go to the power rankings now. Again, I'm not gonna go through what I have said, but I'm gonna go over who is where, and you guys can go back and read it later if you want. We have team build up still number 10, looking even after the first win. If you read why, I will tell you why. But Dragon Knights go down to 9th place. Team Speed Boost is now down to 8th place. The Nido Kings and Queens are now in 7th place. Both the 64s and the Wild Chargers, they go drop 1 spot. Team Eon goes up 2 spots. The Ultra Beast is still ahead of I Don't Know As Dark. There's a reason why. Please go read it. I Don't Know As Dark is still at 3, Ultra Beast at 2, and Sundance Kids are at 1. So let's go to the league leaders now. Not a lot of movements this week because like the main leaders, like the Volcanion, the Venusaur, the Garchomp, a lot of ones either didn't come or they didn't do anything. So there's really like everyone from last week in the top 10 was in this week too. Maybe some switches here and there, but let's go through it all. We have Zygarde and Volcarona sitting at the 10th and 9th spot, holding up 7 kills. There's a lot of other mons that have 7 kills, but more deaths. That's why these mons are here instead of others. I'm not showing favoritism. And we have a lot of mons with 8 kills. Donphan, Alakazam, Alolan Ninetales, Garchomp, Venusaur, and Volcanion. And the reason why it's in that order is again because of the deaths, as you can see right there. So then for the top 2 is Mega Deontay, again getting its 10th kill just this last game, and Neolego, which did not even get a kill last week and died. So that's actually good for everyone else seeing that. Now all that's left is that Volcanion, that pesky Volcanion. So now let's go to the kill-death ratio. The least exciting, but some movement here, because again, not a lot of things happened. So as you can see, Entei is holding up the bottom spot at 2.5. Ninetales is at 2 2/3. Mega Deontay is at 1 1/3. Zygarde is at 3.5. Both Garchomp and Venusaur is at 4. Reuniclus is at 5. Volcarona is at 7. Volcanion is at, I'm going to call this 8.5. Still looking for the first death. And Neolego is at 15. So yeah, still the Ultra Beast is holding up the top spot in both scenarios. Sundance Kids are all holding up a pretty good amount. They have 2 in each. Excuse me. Well, let's go to the weekly schedule. We're on now week 7. So we have Team Aeon versus the Speed Boost. I think that Team Aeon is going to pull out the win. I think they have a better team and better coaches overall, and just the record shows that they should be able to win this matchup. But I'm never going to count out the Speed Boost, and I'm still afraid to face them week 9. But I'm hoping Team Speed Boost can pull out a win. I really need Team Aeon to lose if we want that final playoff spot, as well as 64s, which we are actually facing. But I do believe Team Aeon is going to be able to pull out the win. Next is Team Build Up and the Strength Dragonites. Excuse me, Strength Dragonites. They did that to me on purpose, I believe. But this one, the Team Build Up is coming off a confidence boost win, as the Dragonites, I have now lost, I believe, 5 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 5 in a row. So momentum will say that Team Build-Up will pull out the win, and I believe that they will. I think that they like the taste of winning, so I think they're going to have their first winning streak. That's my prediction. And the Buffalo Wild Chargers will be facing against the 64ers. This is a must-win for both teams, because then they will have better differential, because these two are literally tied. Same record, 3-3 plus 4. So this one will show who is better out of the two, and depending on if Team Eon loses, that team will go into the playoff spot just for at least a week. So my prediction is I gotta go with the home squad. The Buffalo Wild Chargers are gonna pull up the upset, I believe, because I don't know, the 64ers have beaten some teams, which is surprising. I believe they won 3 straight and lost the last 2. I believe that's what it was. So actually, their wins are all against the Needle Queens, Dragonites, and Speed Boost. So that's actually the bottom of the pack. And they actually have lost the Alter Beast. So no, they've lost against Team Buildup. Okay, I'm just going out into things. So and what is the last matchup? No, excuse me, 2 more matchups. The Ultra Beast will be facing against I Don't Know As Dark, which is, in my opinion, probably the match of the week. Maybe not in importance, well, actually kinda, but this is very important. And for the last battle, it is the Sundance Kids versus the Nido Kings and Queens. I'm gonna go with the Sundance Kids. However, the Nido Kings and Queens do have a shot. I'm never going to count out the woman who kills. So that is my weekly update, guys. I've actually just decided, like just a few minutes ago, to do another video, and that is just showing you guys the playoff race. Because there's only 3 weeks left after this, obviously 2, and I think you guys should know what teams need to do in order to win. I will show you guys the upcoming battles that everyone has, and so on and so forth. I'm actually going to record that like right now as this thing is like uploading. So I will catch you. Good luck watching that. Well, good luck. Wow. Gosh, I need some sleep. Have fun watching that, and good luck in everyone's battle. Peace.